back to basics. Let's look at a movement that we see all the time in exercise programs, at the gym, the front lunge. This is basically a step forward. Actually, it's more catching yourself after having fallen forward. In this day and age, we're inundated with the term functional training, to train in a manner that makes you more functional for your day-to-day life and activities, which is great. This is exactly the direction we need to be moving in order to create a higher quality of life for ourselves. So there are more functional programs, but how functional are the movements themselves? Or how can we make them more functional? Let's take a look. With the front lunge, generally when we're moving forward, we take a big step. Step forward, come down, 90, 90, back up. Step forward, big step, up and back. And the further forward that we can step, the more that we feel it in our thighs and our hamstrings, glutes, which is good. That's the work. We feel like we're doing something there. Another aspect is with functional training is training our balance and training our stability. And so we would take a step forward and trying to keep a narrow stance. Front foot in front of the back foot. So as you come down, there's a lot less balance and stability so that you're training that stability. The other thing that tends to happen is because of the long step forward, we tend to go heel. We land heel and then down. Or if we're coming forward and we're keeping a narrow stance, we'll generally find ourselves coming up on the ball of foot. Now, when we're walking around carrying groceries, kids, lumber, car seats, you can tell I'm a parent, toys, whatever it is, we've got an uneven distribution of weight. And so if we're going to catch ourselves on a curve or find ourselves falling forward, it's not going to fall evenly and in a controlled environment. Even when we just have our own body weight. If you're out hiking, you got a big pack on, and you trip up on a rock or some roots, and you're coming down, you've got weight that you're going to need to balance out. But by stepping forward super far, and by stepping narrow, one foot in front of the other, we actually create an environment of instability. And although one would think you're training your stability, by working the habits over and over and over again, when we find ourselves in this situation, when we don't have time to think, it just happens right now. We go right back to whatever's hardwired in our system. We go right back to what we've been training. And so if you find yourself in that situation, what will your body automatically do? It will start stepping way out and super narrow so that you are in a state of instability, increasing the chances of falling over, dropping your kid, whatever. So how do we make something that is so simple and so basic and a part of almost all of our programs and make it more functional? Don't step out so far. So when you step forward, you're still coming down and you're still maintaining 90-90, but you're dropping in front of you. Dropping down. Dropping down. This allows you to create almost a center of gravity that is balanced evenly between your two legs. The other, feet on railway tracks. So as you step forward, there is a wider stance between your feet. And now there's way more balance. You're not off kilter because you have two stable supports. So you're stepping forward on railway tracks and closer. The other thing that this provides is that it allows you to land on midfoot. If you're going to land on midfoot, our feet have receptors that if once we land midfoot, it fires a whole ton of signals into our nervous system that allows to create stability, that keep us in much greater balance. Whereas if you land heel and then down, or you land ball of foot and then down, you break that signal, and so the balance disappears. So now we've taken a lunge that we're used to doing to create a lot of work, and we've made it more functional. And trust me, if you do enough of these, you're gonna feel it. Become more functional in your training, become more functional in your life. Have fun.